back. It's so good to see you here. Today we're going to be talking about Freemasonry. If you want to understand a little bit about the background and why Christians should not be involved in this, then stick around. I think this is really important. The enemy knows that we were built for community. He will also create a tribe that is not of God just to get your life derailed. And the sad part is, because of loneliness, people will take whatever. Sometimes that whatever can actually not only entrap them, but entrap their future generations. And that's what's going on with Freemasonry. It all started out with builders. They wanted to be the cornerstone for their communities. They saw themselves as setting the foundation for the culture that they live in. Freemasons have kind of designed it to be where they infiltrate not only positions of power, and we always think of politics and stuff like that, but they infiltrate every sector of a community. Obviously judges and police officers and servicemen, but you will have people on the local level as well. And those are the lower level Freemasons, but they're still important because what they want to do is entrap a community into a certain mindset. These communities also affect their personal families, and that brings down the whole culture. The source of Freemasonry at the highest degrees, they will unravel the truth. Who you are worshiping is not God, it's Satan. When you're starting off on the lower levels, they will give you a false sense of security that you are not worshiping anything but God, and these are just esoteric secrets that you're learning that no one else knows. And it makes you feel special, like you're a part of something incredible. And I believe that's something that the Lord has implanted in all of us. We know that we were built for more than this life, than this world. There's a part of us that wants to tap into supernatural power and control. Freemasonry kind of hits all those buttons where we just kind of tap into our flesh. What do we want? How can we control? There's also a power dynamic in these secret societies. As you move along and as you gain power in those secret societies, you're also given a lot of respect. And when you think about how the world works nowadays, you don't really see too many people giving respect. It's something kind of rare now. But in that hierarchy system, there is a lot of respect given to those who are higher up in Freemasonry. I believe, especially as men, because men are the one who join this cult, they are really driven by not only success, but also respect. So Freemasonry taps into a man's natural desire. When you are in Freemasonry, you're pledging yourself to an entity called Jabulon. It's the ruling spirit of Freemasonry. Ja is a tainted version of Jehovah. Bul is a modified fertility god, a Canaanite god. An stands for Onaris, a god of war. He was an Egyptian god. The demonic trinity is how most people kind of look at it. The word Jabulon is actually a cipher, which is a code name for Satan himself. And the origin of this name and the meaning gets revealed in the 38th level. Freemasonry is popular for having 33 levels. There are higher levels of Freemasonry. Those are the men deeply entrenched and get to know a lot more secrets and do more satanic rituals. Most people don't get to that level. Pay attention to this list. If your family has a history of these problems, you may have Freemasonry in your background. Digestive problems, twisting of the bowels, allergies, early death, cancer, heart conditions, and fertility issues. Jesus said, "But let your yes be yes and your no be no. For whatever is more than these is from the evil one." Matthew 5:37. Most common Masons go to the 33rd degree. That's like the highest level. You have to actually be invited in to go higher than the 33rd degree. Some of this can feel a little discouraging and a little overwhelming. If you want to be free of Freemasonry, you can totally get free of it. But this is something that an individual has to want. If you know that your family history is entrenched in this, you can pray prayers and break off this curse over yourself. And then your family, like let's say you have a brother or sister, they have to do it for themselves, because everyone, by an act of their own free will, has to break this curse. You cannot just say a blanket prayer over your family to be broken of this curse. That's just the way it is. If you do feel like your family struggles and they haven't been illuminated to what this is all about, pray that the Holy Spirit will open up their spiritual eyes and give them a desire to break this curse off themselves. else. You can't break a curse off of someone else. They have to come into agreement. They don't want to be a part of it anymore. And that is God honoring their free will. That's the amazing part about God. People say that he's controlling, and he's not. He actually allows us to make our own choices. If you have children that are already born, they have to say these prayers over themselves. But if you haven't had a child yet and you are breaking off these curses are broken from your point on. Going forward, having children, all that, they're not going to have to suffer in the same way as you. Because this is a familiar spirit, the spirit still might try and taunt them, but it's not going to have such a strong hold on that future generation because you have broken the curse going forward. Why do people get in Freemasonry? Like, what do they get out of it? A lot of people who take the oaths in the Blue Lodge, they're accepting favor politically, financially, relationally, but they're also accepting curses. They think they're going to get a benefit. But the way the enemy works is he never gives you anything without taking even more from you. And that's the deal that people make they don't understand. There's an opposite side to this. Not only are you accepting curses for your own life, but for your future generation, you're causing problems for them. For those of you who think that Christians cannot be demonized, please read Psalms 106. I'm not going to read it for you. It's kind of long. Do your research and then tell me what you think. Paul states believers partaking in witchcraft will put a curse upon themselves and become demonized. He actually says that, so look it up. If you read chapter 9 of Ezra, Nehemiah, and Daniel, in all of these, men confess the sins of their ancestors as if it were their own sin. This is because of the lingering, passed down effects of this kind of oppression. So if they did it in biblical times, then we need to do it now. We need to use the Bible as a template for what we are doing in our lives. Why not come against the stuff that is dragging down generations? In this day and age, there's so much information and education. Take that insurance policy with God. Take some time for the things that you want for your family. You say you want to build something great for your family and you're working hard and you put all this money towards your kids' education, but then taking a couple of hours to pray about something is too much trouble. Honestly, that seems a little crazy to me. I hope that gave you a little understanding of why Christians should not be engaged in anything to do with Freemasonry. And if you're on the lower levels, a lot of these things that I'm saying will not be revealed to you. A lot of lower level Masons are like, that's just a myth, that's not really true, because they've been seduced by the brotherhood, by feeling heard and seen and appreciated and acknowledged. You know, there's power in community. The Freemasons, they know that. I have an update of a shortened version of the Freemason prayer, and I will be posting that next week. So make sure to look for it. Make the time for the things that are eternally important because it matters. Thank you so much, you guys. I can't wait to chat with you in the comments below. And I do that every single time I post a video. I'm up for an hour checking messages and answering each one of you. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much for sharing these videos. It means a lot to me and I really love you. Take care. Have you guys had a chance to check out my favorite YouTube channel? Armor of God Spiritual Warfare. These guys are incredible. They're a Catholic YouTube channel that has dedicated their lives to equipping the saints with understanding spiritual warfare. If you want to learn more on what goes on in the spiritual realm and how to pray for your friends and family, I highly recommend learning from these guys. And don't forget to tell them that Julia sends big hugs their way.